Hello Stamper, welcome to Frenchie's video. I'm Franz Martin, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up at frenchiestamps.com in the US. Today I'm going to share completely the start of the blending brush. Some of you call that the makeup brush, and now we are carrying them. They come in a pack of 3. I'm going to show scenery. And like I said, this is completely the basics. So if you are used to the brush, well, maybe you're going to still learn a few tips. But this is going to be completely the basic, nothing above the basic. So let's get started. And you can see I get a variation of a scenery here. I'm going to start with the winter scene. And then we're going to do with the ocean, because those two are similar, and then I will share this. So let's get going with, I'm using a piece of Whisper White cardstock that measure 4 by 5.5. I'm going to have all the finished card on my blog. You can use, this is what comes the designer series paper in with the plastic on it. You can use that to carry the ink over, blending the ink. I'm going to share how I done this. First thing, I want to use a scrap paper here, and I just going to do a line about, not quite in the middle, about there. I'm going to start with Balmy Blue, and this one I'm using a post-it note that it's 1 or 1 1/4. It is a 1 inch for my son. And the sun in the winter, it's almost just like a glare there. So I'm going to put that there. And the brush, you want to make sure you don't have no color left on it, in case if you mix color. You can wash them, or I don't wash mine. I just rub them on a piece of paper. So I'm using Balmy Blue here. Another thing that I think is great with that, it's using your silicone sheet here, and put that so then it's not moving around. So let me add some color on this, and then you can start on your paper here and then bring it in and just go around. So that's going to save a bit on the ink, because you can carry it back in. If you see, I'm all the brush right at the end and put my 2 finger there, or 1 at the top. You don't want to, well, I don't like to hold it at the end there, because it's too soft. I want a good pressure. So every time that I go get my ink, I'm starting on this sheet here and then bringing it in just a little circle motion. And then I'm going to go at the bottom. Now I'm going to come with basic gray, and not basic gray, I'm sorry, with smoky slate. And this is the winter scene we are doing. So make sure I don't have no color on it. See, it's clear. I'm going to come and get some gray, and I'm going to hold that there. And again, I'm going to start on my sheet here and coming down. Around the sun, I'm going to keep it more white, not going right at the edge, so I don't have that mark around. So I'm going to come back here. I'm going to still have a mark, but not as pronounced. And the reason why I like gray in the winter sky, coming from up north, you get it's a lot of gray in the sky. So I'm just starting here. It's lighter at the bottom, and then around the sun I keep on lighter. So you can keep on adding as you want, but now you get the jig of it, of how I keep that there. Now I'm going to remove that. My sky, it's higher than the other one. That is okay. It's no right and wrong. Now I will remove this. Et voila. See, you still have the line, but it's blend softer. Now, I'm going to come, and you could always add a little bit to blend it soft in there. And I'm going to go with my gray there and just blend it the softness so it's not so white. Here we go. So now that's look more what I like. Now for the snow, I just tear up a piece of paper. But first, we're going to stamp that two stamps that I'm using for the scenery, except for the beach. I'm using the Sailing On. I think, yeah, Sailing On. I am using My Meadow for one of them, but this one really, it's Snow Front. That's pretty much the only thing that I'm using the Snow Front. I won't do all the scenery because really it's show out the blending, but I like to have my three and basic gray for my winter. And I'm going to stamp that right there. Now I'm going to use the little trees. And I'm going to stamp a little bit higher. Oh, I must add some green on that or brown. I'm going to come back. Here we go. I get a little shadow. That is perfectly fine. And I'm going to put another one here. So when you get ink like this, you can take your rag also, and in between different color, if it's a big variation, you want to wipe your plastic so then you don't carry over, mix all your ink. Now that I know where to put my snow, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put this here, and we're going to add a light blue to it. I am using the same color, balmy blue, for the snow that I use at the top, but at the top it's look very different because I get the gray. Now I'm going to put this here, and let's start with the blue here, and I'm going to start at the bottom and coming up. I just want to add a little bit of blue all around. I like to keep the horizon way lighter, okay? Absolutely way lighter that I like. Okay, now I'm going to finish that there. I get more of a line than I like. I should have removed my paper first, but I didn't. That's okay. We get a good horizon. Now I'm going to take this, and now I follow the pattern, well, the tree trunk. That's where the snow would catch, right? I'm going to put that right there. And again, start on your plastic or on a scrap paper. Never start right on your image. Now, I'm going to keep on adding some blue here. Oops. And you're going to say, it don't look like much, right? You don't see much. Well, 1 minute. I got a little line there, but don't worry about that. I must have dropped something. Voila. See how much that it come, and it looked like I had nothing. So keep that in mind. You don't want to overdo it. Now I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to put more snow below the tree. Here we go. So it's just like a drift. Et voila. And then you can add a little bit more as you go. So don't be afraid to do it upside down. Move your paper. Right now I got a tough time with my camera being in my way, but that's okay. See, I went too fast on my paper and I got a chunk there. So I'm going to blend that. Just keep on blending. Et voila. And then I'm going to add a bit more. And here it won't be as pronounced because I don't have like the tree to catch the snow. Put it that way. Here we go. And then I can come and add more at the bottom. So now you get a bit of like your snow drift, right? Can add more. It's easier to add more than removing some, so keep that in mind. And you see here, I keep that lighter, but I'm going to add a little bit more. So I'm going to come from the side here and add a little bit more because I feel I get a little bit too much white. I wanted to define the horizon, but it was a bit too much because I had a darker line there. But you see, I get my snow very lovely. So that's the basic, and then I would stamp my birds and so on. So that's the winter scene. Now for this, the ocean view, I went freehand for the sun. And I didn't want that round circle around it. So here how I done that. If you notice, I don't have that pronounced like that. Well, let's use a yellow one. See the difference? Here it's a very defined line, and here also. This one is just like the glow of the sun. What I done, I used saffron, and I want scrap paper here. Make sure I don't have no color on that. Let me remove this. And then I'm going to come and get some saffron. I'm going to start right there. And I hold it sideways for this because I want to be able to control that better. And I'm going to start little with the pressure and go put more pressure as I go round and round. And I just go a little circle motion. Voila. I'm going to go one more time. And remember, blue and yellow going to be green. So you want to be very careful when we're going to come with the blue. Now, you're going to remove the color on this. We're going to bring the balmy blue. And we're going to do our sky. This time, I will not have a big line though. So let me share how we will not get a big line. I'm going to come with the blue here. And I'm just going to have a little line at the bottom. And if you look right now, you're going to say it don't barely show, right? Well, wait till I remove this. Oh, I can have a little bit more. You don't want too much of a line sometimes. You can if you want a big definition between the sky and the earth. Here we go. Now I'm going to come, and again, I would just keep on going around and around, and because I don't have nothing in the center there, what I'm doing to keep it wider around, here how I do it. Start over there, and keep on going around here. Never mind if you go at the bottom, because we're going to have the water there. This one, it's more easier to do, because we got the, the ocean's going to be in the blue, right? Right there, I get little lines that I don't like, but I think that when I'm going to put my lighthouse, I'm going to make sure to cover that. But if you see, oh, I got some window, the sun is coming in. 1 second. Here we go. If you see, I get more white around there. Okay, for the ocean, I did the same thing in the winter pretty much, but this time I use Coastal Cabana for the ocean. So for the ocean, I use the same thing, and we're gonna put our, whoops, use the same blue here, just remove it, and then, oops, no, first let's back up the bus. I want some like a sand dune or sand by where the lighthouse is. I'm using soft suede. I tried crumb cake and I felt soft suede was better for me. So I'm going to use the soft suede. Start on your paper, see, and bring it in. And I'm going to go sideways like almost like a triangle. And here we go. So now I got something to conquer my lighthouse. Here we go. And you can always take your stamp set and see about, okay, is that about right? I want a little bit more. So I'm gonna go ahead, take more, start there again, and go a little bit more here. Here we go. Now we're going to go ahead with a balmy blue, not balmy blue, Coastal Cabana. When I'm done with my brush, I want to remove this, wipe it, because like I said, I do not wash my brush. Now we're going to take the ocean, we're going to take Coastal Cabana, and I'm going to put just right at the tip here, like those waves. Now I'm going to come here. Even if you get some going on the sand, that's okay, because the wave can crash on the sand. So don't sweat that at all. It's okay. See? Now I'm going to come here. And as you go higher, it should be lighter because you see less of the wave, right? So here I'm going to put it lighter. So now I get my wave. I'm going to come and just blend that. Remember I said if you switch a big tone in your color, you want to wipe this so then you're not adding whatever color that would give me, right? So I'm wiping that. Or you can use a scrap paper also. I like this because it's blends smooth. So now I'm going to come here and add some blue to it. I'm not putting a line there because I want a softer look. So I'm just going to come here, et voila. So now I get my wave. Now see the big difference when I'm going to go ahead and stamp my Lighthouse. So I'm going to go and use Memento ink to stamp the Lighthouse. And remember here I get two little spots that I don't like, so I'm going to come higher a little bit and stamp that lovely here. Boom. Now you're going to say, well, you get some of the color through it. What I done for this Lighthouse, I use gray granite, the light one, and I just color my Lighthouse. So you're going to have still a little bit to show, or you can mask it. You can die cut it and put it here. But this, I want it very basic, that anybody can do basic. So not much involved to it, but the brush and the ink. Et voila. And the yellow through this, that is perfect because you see through. It's the Lighthouse itself, whatever the window. And you see now it remove everything. And then I'm going to put the greeting and so on. And it's all the, I use the stitch rectangle, but see, boom. Okay, now for the summer one, I call it the summer one. I use, here, let's bring another piece. And again, I use the, the masking for the sun. So I'm going to bring my 1 inch here. I'm going to bring that here, and this time, this is kind of, let me bring another one here. Here we go. We're going to not put no lines, so it's going to be a softer horizon. So I'm going to bring my soft, not soft, but balmy blue here, and we're going to start at the top and bring it down. And bring it down. And I'm going to leave that this way. And more white around. And keep on going. And you can add as much as you want or as little, depending how bluish you want this and so on. So I'm just adding some, and then I'm going to add a little bit under here. Very little, but I'm adding some. I want darker in the top here, and you can always grab. Okay, now I will remove this, And you can take, I'm looking where I put it and now I cannot see it. I had amassed the same size. So let me make another one. So you're going to see, it's the same thing like for the Post-it note. But when you punch the Post-it note, I like to put, let me think here, a cardstock under so then it punches easier. 1 inch seems small. I think it was 1 1/4, but now it's 1 inch. So I think the other one was, I'm going with 1 1/4. So I'm going to put that there. And the reason why I'm putting a cardstock under, it's because if not, it just want to tear up the Post-it note. So this way, it's going to punch lovely with the sharp, a nice punch out. I know the other one was bigger, but that's okay. I'm going to put that there. I'm going to use my So Saffron. And then I'm going to, and I start on the scrap here. You guys didn't see that, but I start on the scrap. Voila. And if you want, like this one, like the glow and the yellow, I just went back in the center and just like the one with the lighthouse, I just add a little bit more around. So I can here. So you can have it or not. This one looked very good. Here we go. So now I got a glare. Now for the bottom, I just use the green and go from the bottom up. So with that being said, now let me wipe because I don't know which color it's on that. I'm using Old Olive and I'm going from the bottom up. So see, I always go in circle motion. Bring that up. You can always move your paper, right? And I keep on bringing my ink that I put bring it onto your paper. If you use scrap paper, then you cannot really bring your ink back because the paper is going to absorb it. But this here, you can drag back your ink. So I keep on going from the bottom, coming up, coming up. So then it's darker at the bottom and lighter at the top, just like when you look at the horizon. Voila. How simple this was. So when you're going to stamp your scenery, it's going to, all where you get like little, I don't know, like blotch, it's going to disappear. And I want to point out for the tree here, I did use this one in the Snow Meadow, but the stamp for the, I'm looking which one it was there. Okay, it is this little snow. That's what I use for the leaves. So I know it's not made for the leaves, but that's what I use for it. So you can, you know, make your leaves. I punch my bird also in, not punch, but stamp my birds. Did the wheelbarrow, I did that from the My Meadow, but I didn't use My Meadow 3. I used the one from Snowfront. So I'm going to finish the other one that I did, and all the color and all the supplies that I use going to be on my blog. Right below you get the direct link, and you can come there and shop 24/7. Those brush, like I said, are new to Stampin' Up. I know they're not new on the market, new to Stampin' Up, and they come 3 in a pack. I love the softness of it. See, it's like bazillion little brush on it. You could wash them under not super hot water, but warm water, and maybe a light soap like dish soap. I don't wash mine. I just rub it on a scrap paper and keep on going. That is it for today. I hope you enjoyed that. Till next time, happy stamping, my friend. Bye-bye for now.